Hey there, Alison here, professional career and communications coach, founder of Affordable Career Consulting and Inspirosity Institute Online. And today we're going to talk about something that's a little bit more on the career side and the career path, but it hits me real deep because it's definitely happened to me a couple of times. And I think everybody stumbles over this once or twice or 10 times. And it's hard to struggle with, and it's hard to kind of unpack that box. So that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to be talking about job apathy and what to do with it. What do I mean by job apathy, right? That is where you're feeling just generally meh about your job, right? You don't hate it per se, but you're not in love with it either. So you're kind of wondering, like, should I quit? Should I not quit? Is this a good job? Do I want to keep doing this? Would I be crazy for quitting? And like, those things are kind of hard to answer, right? Especially if we don't have anything that's really pointing us in the right direction, or if we've been on this career path for a while and we're afraid of making mistakes, or we're afraid of making more missteps, or that we can't even imagine what other kind of job we could be doing. How do we figure out how to get out of this box, right? So job apathy, let me tell you, if you're experiencing this right now, it's super, 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 super common. And it's not my place as a coach to tell you whether to quit your job or stay in your job. That's not it. Only you can make that choice. I can only help you kind of go through the thought process to figure out what is happening to you and whether or not you can fall back in love with your career, or if your career is supporting your life or whatever, right? I can help you figure that stuff out. So let's go ahead and get started. These are some exercises that I help my clients with, and here's a little shameless plug. If you're finding yourself in this, I do one-on-one coaching. Head over to affordablecareerconsulting.com and go ahead and hit book a call, and we'll go ahead and set up a consultation call and get on the road there. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about unpacking job apathy, right? So why does this even happen? There's a couple of reasons. So for a lot of people, and I'm talking like 90% of the workforce, actually, if you want to think about statistically, the degree you graduated with has very little to do with the job that you have right now. If you actually are using your degree from college, congratulations, you're about 10% of the population. And there's a myriad of reasons of why this happens, but it all kind of boils down to what the labor market's like, what that first job out of college is, what the career path is on, and then also the fact that a lot of times we've been taught that there's only one way to move our career forward, and that's a very linear path. So you start entry level, then you advance to associate level, then you get to advanced level, then you get to management, then you become a director, then you become a VP, then you become a C level, then you become a board member, and then you repeat, and I don't know what you do after board member. I think you just become more board members, and then people just start giving you money. But that path is very, very linear and very, very rigid. And corporations love talking about this path, right? Because it's the easiest to do, because it's merit-based, or it's supposed to be merit-based. Some places have it time-based, but they're wrong. So it's this constant promise of, if you come in and you sweat and you put in your hours and all that type of stuff, you're going to move to the next level. And if you do it there and you do that job and you do it well, and you're going to move to the next level, right? And that's fine, that's cool, if your goal is to move to the next level. But the secret of this is that the next level is harder, and there's more responsibility, and you have to relearn how to do that job, and you have to get other skills, and you have to kind of really be into what you're doing in order to get other people, especially once you reach that manager and up level. You have to guide other people and get them to believe in the business and get them to believe in what you do. And if you don't believe in it, then it's really hard to get other people in line too. So linear progression path on a career path that you're not already kind of bought into kind of sucks. Like, the pay is good, right? And that's where most people are. When they get stuck, they're like, I don't really care about my job, but the money is good. So that's the first thing that I actually kind of tell my clients is that the money will happen. The money will be fine. You will figure it out. You have transferable skills. It will get you into some place. It will be okay. But job apathy and forward path, there's other ways to advance your career. That would be my first challenge. If you're feeling kind of meh, is do you actually really care and like what you do? Notice I said that you like what you do, not that you're good at it, right? I was in a career for 15 years that I was actually exceptionally good at, and it made me 6 figures. I didn't like it. I quit because I didn't like it. And life is too short to be doing something that you don't like. But let's talk about some other reasons of why we might be feeling meh, right? So we find out that we like our job and all that type of stuff. It's all gravy. What's some other reasons of why we might be feeling meh? Well, then we can actually start kind of packing apart the environment. And it's usually not just one thing. And so this is where I would actually suggest laying out a grid and thinking about your work in terms of other things besides the stuff that you're just doing. Because you've already checked in with yourself and you've decided that what you're doing is fine. That means that you don't need to look elsewhere or find your transferable skills or look on a different career path or anything like that. So that's the biggest thing of like why to quit. If you're still sitting there and you're just like, nah, I like my job well enough, I'm good here. Okay, we're in this box. So there's 4 things that we can think about when we're looking at our current job to see whether or not there's something there that's wrong, right? And that's environmental, preferential, social, and then also like kind of the world around, okay? And so environmental, this is stuff like, where's the office located? Is it an office that you feel safe in? Is it in a high rise? Are you sitting behind a desk? Are you doing all of these types of things? So like literally the environment around you, is it a place that's giving you some energy and you're feeling good about it? Or is it leaving you tired, right? Is it one of those things that like you're sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day and you're getting back problems and you're feeling run down because you're around blue light and you don't go outside and it's dark most of the year and like it's just really wearing you down? Is it a fast-paced environment and it's wearing you out? Is it too slow and you're not feeling stimulated? Like all of that kind of stuff starts to wear on you a little bit. Then we have the social part, which is part of an organization as well. Do you have a boss that you trust? Do you have an upper management that you believe in and is steering the company in the right direction? Do you have colleagues that are also friends, or are they enemies? Is this really a family-like environment, or is it a family-like environment where there's a lot of like nitpicky and backstabby stuff? Like, what does this look like? What are your customers like? Do they treat you well? Or do they treat you like garbage? This is the part where we can start listening and thinking about our social cues and whether or not we feel supported by the society that we're around or whether it's dragging us down. So we've got the environment, the actual physical place where we work. We've got the social, the people that we interact with. Preferential, which is the things that we're doing in our day-to-day and whether we actually like or don't like doing those things. And so a lot of people who get stuck in this stuff, a lot of times they actually really liked the job when they got into it, but there's a couple of things that are going on. And one of the number one things that happens is that people who actually really, really liked their job to start out with, but now they're feeling meh, it's because they want to be continually educated. They always love learning more and doing more. And they're stuck doing the same thing day in and day out, year over year over year. And so if you're one of those constant learners or those people who are constantly being engaged and looking for that opportunity and that stimulus and you're not receiving it, you're emotionally not being fulfilled. And so that could be a big, big part of why you're not feeling your job right now. And alternately, there are some people who are very steady Eddie. Nothing wrong with our steady Eddies out there, but they want things consistent and they want things the same, and they need to feel supported in what they're doing, and they need to know the rules of the game and the rules of engagement. And so if their work is like changing, right? The expectations are changing. Things are being thrown at them with very little explanation or very quick adoption. If you're one of those people, that could be what's happening. And if you're one of those people, either way, you're not being stimulated or you're being too stimulated, I encourage you to talk to your boss about this and to really open up about what's happening around you and how it's really working on you and dragging down your energy and how you think and how you learn. And understanding this for yourself. Because a lot of times our responsibilities at work and our expectations and our emotional needs don't match up. And that causes dissatisfaction to the point where we actually go ahead and like quit our jobs prematurely and go look for other things because we think that there's no resolution here, and there actually is. The last part is kind of all of the other stuff that's going on. And by other stuff, I mean the other stuff that's happening in your life. You are a complete person, and your life evolves every single day. Every single day you wake up as a different person than what you were the day before. And the problem is that your job is pretty constant and pretty consistent over days, months, years. There might be some big changes, there might not be some big changes, just depending what industry you're in and whatever. But for most of us, this stays linear while all of this is a mess. I mean, let's just think about 2020 for a minute, right? So it could be that something has changed in your life, that your life is trying to revolve around your work when you actually need your work to revolve around your life. And that is dragging you down and is making you feel meh. Maybe you had kids and you realize that you want to live closer to your family. Maybe you're approaching retirement and you want to know what comes next and you want the last couple years of your career to mean something more than what they have. Maybe you're getting married. Maybe you have an illness that you're trying to take care of. Maybe you just really have different shifting priorities. You have a new hobby. I had a client once that she decided that she wanted to work on becoming a professional cyclist, and she needed hours to train. So, like, whatever that stuff is, that's cool. You don't have to work, and you don't have to have your work be the definition of your life. Actually, I highly encourage that it's not. And so if you need your work to like reorient itself around all of the other things going on, that's something that you can figure out. You should be able to make your work be just as flexible as the rest of your life is. And so those are the areas that I want you to tap into when you're feeling meh, and really start unpacking those boxes and really taking a holistic look at what's going on. And maybe there's a couple of things that you can fix in each one so that you can actually come to a decision of whether you're continuing on the right path, if this is still the career for you, and if it is still the career for you, whether or not you can make some changes either at your current employer, or if you're looking ultimately decide to leave, what to look for in your next employer to get the best of the situation as it is. I hope this helps. Good luck out there.